Hey, what happened yesterday?
Oh, you know, officer, man, my girl was just tripping, man. She was on another one. You know, she was just tripping, but it's all good, man.
You sure?
Yeah, man, she was crying, man. She was just upset, man, because the Dodgers lost, and she's a Dodgers fan, and so I was just talking about, like, oh, your Dodgers lost again.
From what I've heard yesterday, you were beating her.
Whoa, why you gotta get so aggressive with me, officer? Like, that's messed up. You mind if I just get my jacket? It's kind of cold.
Yeah.
I can get my, all right, cool. Hold on 1 second. So, yeah, so what else can I do for you, officer?
Well, I need you to help. I need to take you down and ask you some questions.
Okay, for what? For the thing yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, man, you guys do a phenomenal job, by the way. Man, Elsinore PD, man, you guys are on top of it, man. I just want to give you kudos. I don't know how you guys do the job that you guys do, man. It's phenomenal. So, where do we got to go? Where's your car at?
Over here.
All right, everybody, give a round of applause. So, as you guys have just finished watching that scenario, one of the comments that I've gotten recently was that the scenarios that I present to students are very unrealistic. And the sad thing is that these scenarios that I present are not scenarios. These are real events that have occurred in a police department throughout our country. And the one that you just watched actually happened in Flagstaff, Arizona a few years back, and it involved Officer Tyler Stewart. Officer Tyler Stewart showed up to a house to do an investigation. And when he showed up to that house, he was talking to the suspect. And as he talked to the suspect's demeanor was very cool, calm, and collected. Now let's pause right there and let's talk about that. You'll notice in the scenario that I presented to the student, I was very cool, calm, and collected. As a matter of fact, I actually thanked the officer for the service that they do. Well, why would I do that? The reason why I did that is because that's the same thing that the suspect did to Officer Stewart, and it was a distraction. So as that suspect is trying to thank the officer, what it's doing is it's creating a distraction for him. And that distraction is ultimately to take away from why that officer is there to do his job and what the suspect wants to accomplish. This dialogue continues over several minutes, and it probably makes Officer Stewart feel a little bit more comfortable that this is just going to be an ordinary investigation like every other one. But every single one of us, myself included, finds ourselves in situations on a daily basis as police officers getting comfortable because we've done this job so many times. In this situation specifically, the suspect knew exactly what he wanted to do, and what he wanted to do was ultimately take the life of Officer Stewart. So now, because a lot of you think that these situations are unrealistic, I've made the tough decision to go ahead and play you just a short clip of the video where Officer Stewart was ultimately assassinated. And some might ask why I choose to do that. The reason I choose to do that is because I need to make an impact. And every officer that dies in the line of duty, I want their legacy to continue and ultimately, hopefully, save a person's life. If you're a police officer out there watching this, I want you to remember that although we may go on calls for service and although we may get comfortable, you have to understand that you never know what a person wants to do and why a person may want to harm you. And if you're a civilian watching this, I want you to realize that as officers, we must watch videos like this because we have to understand that when we go work our day-to-day job as police officers, this too could be us if we don't take those precautions and if we're not watching and understanding everything that a person is doing for us. That's why when we tell a person to take their hands out of their pocket and we want to see their hands, we say it for a reason. If an officer tells you to sit down, he's telling you for a reason. If an officer is giving you instructions of what not to do, he's giving you that for a reason. And that reason is ultimately so you save your life and the officer can go home to his family at night as well. So as you watch this last video, I want you to understand that the scenarios that I present to students and members of the public, although playful, is not playful. They're very serious. People have lost their life, and we all need to educate ourselves as to the dangers of what law enforcement officers face every single day. Officer Stewart, your death will not be in vain. I promise you that. And every other officer that's died in the line of duty, I promise you, I will keep your legacy going, and I will make sure that we could try to prevent as many law enforcement line of duty deaths as possible by education of the community. Thanks again, and God bless.
In the drywall, I didn't have a drywall sink. I put screws in. It was crooked. It was too low. And it turned into a fiasco. And that's kind of the wedge, you know. In the
okay.
This fight.
You mind if I just pat down your pockets real quick? You don't have anything in here?
No.
Okay. Nothing in here?
No, this is my smoke.
Okay.